remember Tom Brady was going to be a 49er? I do. It was one of my favorite stories. And then somewhere along the way in late February, FLORIO had an article that said, well, Brady could become a minority owner in the Dolphins and play for the Dolphins. And I remember I kind of dismissed it like, this is stupid. And somebody DM'd me and they said, I recommend you look into Bruce Beal, Brady's boy, who's always there at the Kentucky Derby parties. FLORIO wrote today that the plan was for Brady to retire, for the Dolphins to get Sean Payton, for Brady to become a minority owner in the Dolphins, and then for Brady to get basically traded from the Bucs to the Dolphins and become the Dolphins quarterback.
There's a lot going on here, guy.
Oh,
there's a lot going on. One thing I think it's fair to surmise, I don't think he was ever going to be a 49er. I don't know if it's his bitterness when Kyle denied him. I don't know if it's that ship had sailed. My gut says these 2 years in Florida, one thing he realized, I'm never leaving. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to build the business here. I'm going to be, obviously, I played here. You make zero income tax. Now, the 49er thing is unique with his family, but part of the reason he wanted to stay on the East Coast, right, was because the son that lives in New York City. I wonder, if you had to ask me where's Tom Brady living in a decade, I bet he lives in Florida. And so to me, the combination of the Miami thing, I don't know if there are rules you can play and own the team, how that's all going to work. But clearly, like you said, with this Beal guy, they're buddies. He's the succession plan for Stephen Ross. But to me, it's more about like Tom Brady, to me, feels like a Florida guy the rest of his life.
I don't think there's any question about that. I agree with you.
Don't you think he's living in Florida like Tiger or all these guys like the rest of his life?
He's there now. Like I don't think he's going anywhere. I'm with you. The question is like, isn't there some salary cap circumvention going on if you're a part owner of the team and a player on the team, right? They would have had to figure some things out now.
Yes, he get a dividend. I mean, how's that working?
It seems to me like it could be a little sketchy, but go to the league meetings, owners photo next to Belichick. He shows up, Belichick doesn't.
Tom's on the field pregame. He's like, Bill, all those suites sold out. I was like, what's going on here?
I don't, it makes me wonder if the Niners thing was ever something. Now, you and I talked about it a lot. Clearly, with hindsight now, we can say very clearly Tom was never fully committed to retiring. The question is, did he retire when he didn't want to retire and then just changed his mind and came back? Or did he retire as part of some plot? And what FLORIO's kind of saying is he retired as part of some plot. And I bought into the conspiracy theory that he retired as part of some plot pretty early, but I thought the plot was come play for the 49ers. The plot was it was not about the Niners this whole time. It was not about the Niners. It was about the Dolphins.
You'd think. I mean, maybe he was just going to go to retire, because what if Tampa wouldn't have to me, trading him to the Dolphins after he gets ownership, that might get a little dicey.
I agree. I don't think Tampa really had much choice in anything. I know Bruce Arians talked tough at the Combine right before he retired, but like if Tom Brady wanted to play for somebody else, I think the Bucs would have had to allow
But is there
that.
a chance he did want to play for someone else and they wouldn't let him? They said, like, we're not just going to facilitate this.
Yeah, there's definitely that chance. I do
why
think
is he, why is he still on the Bucs? Like he didn't want to play for Mike McDaniel?
Just the Dolphins ownership deal never came together for whatever reason, or the league told him we're not going to let you do that. You want to become a Dolphins owner, you can do it after you're done playing.
Would be pretty shady if he was playing and owned a piece of the team.
It'd be very weird. Again, there's got to be some salary cap violation there.
But they would take his. He was under contract. They would have acquired his contract.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, I am circumventing the salary cap. If you're making money, how do I measure how much money you're making from the team separate from your contract?
Maybe you're just not allowed to take a dividend until you're done playing. I don't know.
Do you have to cut your own
owner,
guarantee?
I would push back.
Maybe it was not that the Bucs said no. Maybe it was that the Saints said no. You're not getting Sean Payton.
Yeah, and then he's not going to play for Mike McDaniel.
Which to me, like, play for Mike McDaniel. What the hell? If you want to be the Dolphins quarterback.
Yeah, but part of Tom, like, you can't risk Mike McDaniel not knowing what he's doing.
Yeah, no, I know. So you hear the story and you think it was still possible that the Niners were part of his thought process?
I do not.
Yeah. Okay. So we're on the same page.
I think he was staying. I think he went to Florida, liked it a lot. I know a lot of like the California elites think Florida's a dump. where these guys live, it's clearly not. Because these guys from California all go there and fucking love it. And when you're super wealthy, you don't pay any taxes. It's very cheap. And then, like, I was talking to my accountant, because I was talking to him, like, how much would I save if I lived in Vegas or Florida? And he's like, it's not even just the income tax. It's all the other taxes that you pay when you're there. It all adds up. So, and him, like, a big part of his life is running the business. Where do you think TB12 is eventually going to be based out of? Like, I think it's just his whole plan is like a lifestyle business plan till he dies, right? The Brady brand, the TB12, like he's trying to build companies. Whether it's
the money he leaves to his kids. I don't know how that, what the state variations are there, but
I just mean like him just being able to operate. Clearly, he's boys with that Beal guy, Jimmy Dunn, the golf guy that plays in that Pro-Am with him. Like, they're all located down there. Maybe that's just his circle. Like, who does Tom hang out with? 68-year-old rich white guys. I mean, he ain't hanging out with like the 23-year-old wide receiver on his team. He's hanging out with those guys.
Yeah. Also, Tom can get to Pebble Beach in the amount of time it takes him to call the pilot and fire up the jet, right? Like, the world is small at a certain wealth level. Like, you can get to wherever you want to go whenever you want to get there.
Still a 5-hour flight. But
I understand, but I'm just saying, like, you can. If he lives in LA or if he lives in Florida going to see his parents, he's got to get on a plane or get in a car.
Yeah, I mean, if me or you hopped in our car right now and wanted to go to Santa Barbara, it would take us the same time to drive there it would be if he hopped in a plane in Tampa Bay to be at his parents' house. Right?
I think you guys are understating that Tampa said no trade. Yeah, maybe I am. I've been adamant this whole time that I don't think Tampa has much say in it, that Tom Brady won them a championship. They owe Tom Brady what Tom Brady wants, but maybe not. Maybe the contract's the contract. No, dude. We have your rights, and we're not going to let you do what you want.
I agreed with you when it was coming to the Niners because it was kind of hopeful, but I think that's possible, that they were going to make it a little tougher. And it might not. Jason Light might have been cool with it. Arians probably, obviously, doesn't have any. I wonder if the owners were like, owners can be, tough, right?
Yeah. But if Brady was an owner,
he'll be tough. Well, it's like LeBron talking shit about all the owners. He's like, you guys treat the players so shitty. Well, LeBron, once you own a team, you're going to be trading and cutting guys left and right. So it's like,
well, he already does.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty.